Let's start off with number 10, involving palace staff in his affair. Even Prince Charles's cleaning staff once kept his affair with Camilla a secret from Princess Diana, or at the very least, they tried to. The Prince of Wales' affair with the Duchess of Cornwall, which occurred while Charles was infamously married to Princess Diana, is well known to honestly everyone. It's safe to assume that some members of the royal family are dissatisfied with the fact that their affair was getting screen time on The Crown, making it by far one of the biggest royal relationship scandals. However, juicy details about their affair are harder to come by. In a well-known interview with News of the World in 1995, the prince's valet Ken Stronach shared shocking details about Charles's affair. He was even fired because of his breach of confidentiality. Stronach claimed at the time that he scrubbed grass stains from Charles's pajamas after the prince would sneak out of bed in the middle of the night to meet with Camilla, and even made sure his bed looked like he had slept in it by ruffling it up. It was very elaborate, but no one was fooled by it. The valet claimed he had become ill as a result of the straining of keeping Charles's secrets. He stated to the newspaper at the time, "We've all been told not to speak to anyone about anything throughout his time with Charles. I became extremely ill as a result of the strain of keeping his secrets. Even though Prince Charles has admitted to the affair and married Camilla, it's clear that the firm still doesn't like to talk about this royal stuff." On to number 9, during his marriage to Princess Diana, he had his first significant encounter with disapproving public opinion. Footage of the couple touring Australia suggests that he was jealous of how much more popular she was. Diana confirmed that Charles envied the public's devotion to his wife in her explosive 95 interview with Martin Bashir, saying, "The pressure on us both as a couple with the media was phenomenal and misunderstood by a great many people." She said, "We'd be going around Australia, for instance, and all you could hear was, 'Oh, she's on the other side.'" Diana subsequently clarified that the waiting crowds were expressing their disappointment that Charles was closer to them rather than Diana, explaining, "They weren't on the right side to wave at me or to touch me." Ouch. I can understand why Charles took offense to that, but at the same time, that's your woman. You should be happy your people love her. On to number 8, hiding details about their wealth. The royal family is under few requirements to disclose details of its wealth, but all I'm gonna say is, if you want to find out, it's not too difficult to go all Sherlock Holmes on the family. The family's communications with the government are exempt from freedom of information requests. Their official papers are kept secret by Britain's National Archives for at least 50 years. The lack of transparency has led anti-monarchy groups, including the Republic, to call the monarchy an unaccountable public institution that has the power, secrecy, and influence to willfully abuse its position. Without a change, many details of the royal family's private wealth may never be known. Facts about the Duchy of Lancaster's offshore investments were leaked back in 2017. Leaked docs revealed $13 million. I wonder what else can be revealed if more docs were suddenly leaked. Seriously, we need to do some investigative work on this family. Other reports have suggested questionable foreign dealings or arrangements. King Charles was accused of offering to help secure a knighthood for a Saudi national in response to a donation to his charitable foundation. Representatives of Charles denied an impropriety, but it still sounds a little suspicious to me. On to number 7, Diana's mental health. After learning about the tragic ending of Diana and Charles's marriage, we find out how much his unfaithful and negligent actions impacted Diana's mental health. He clearly has narcissistic tendencies, to the point where it became detrimental to Diana's and his son's health while she was alive and while they were young. On to number 6, political scandal. Prince Charles has been accused of attempting to influence the British government in some shady ways. In 2015, Charles received confidential papers on the inner workings of the British government that even elected ministers hadn't seen. How did he manage to get his hands on these papers? I have a feeling the excuse that he was a part of the monarchy is not a good enough reason, but for now, let's just say that is why, since it's undetermined. The Guardian received 27 memos dubbed the Black Spider memos because it showed that the royal prince was somehow engaged in efforts about a range of issues, from orders of military helicopters during the Iraq War to illegal fishing of the Patagonian toothfish. The controversy here is that some people believe it is normal for a royal to be involved in political affairs, while some think the members of the family should stay out of politics. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section if you believe royals should be involved in politics or should just stick to the other royal duties that steer clear of the political side. On to number 5, financial scandal. Another scandal for us to talk about. Charles allegedly accepted unofficial commissions from a previous Qatari prime minister for his charitable endeavors, which sounds a little fishy. As a supporter of homeopathy, he'd earned the label of being anti-science. Charles has also drawn criticism for his lavish spendings. The king has 6 homes on his estate, 11 secretaries, a large staff of servants, many expensive cars, and an annual salary of $20 million. I get that he is a king, but it is very interesting to know not only does he have this insane annual income, but on top of that, the whole family is extremely secretive of their wealth and where exactly they are possibly getting this amount of money. Any theories? I want to know what you think they could be doing for them to be able to afford this lifestyle. On to number 4, backlash. Charles's troubled past has been exposed numerous times now that he is king. A senior member of parliament dubbed Charles Britain's best informed lobbyist after secret documents about the British government inner workings had been exposed to be received to him. Clarence House stated at the time that it is typical for heirs to the throne to be briefed on political topics. However, critics argued members of the family should avoid politics. On to number 3, charity scandal. One of the other scandals the king has been involved in. British police had launched an investigation with Charles's charity, the Prince's Trust, after reports of a cash for honors scheme. Accusations were made that a close aide, Michael Fawcett, offered a Saudi tycoon a knighthood in exchange for $2 million in donations. The investigation started after it was reported that Fawcett stepped down from his role as the chief executive of the foundation after being accused of misconduct. It was reported that tens of thousands of dollars were paid to make up for links to the prince. Basically, they were trying to bribe this Saudi prince by offering him a royal title in exchange for money which allegedly would be going towards their foundation. Unethical. But anyway, on to number 2, controversies. As most of the royals, King Charles has quite a controversial history. Knowing the times he's grown up in, we can't easily say he just doesn't know any better, but I can't say I'd be surprised to know he doesn't really keep any woke people around him. I mean, after all, who would dare correct the king, right? As hard as it might be for Charles, a key part of being the king is winning over the people, and as overwhelming his scandalous past has been, it's no surprise that there are still people who do not care for him as a king. Many reports from royal sources have claimed that the newly appointed king has waited 70 years for this moment and wants to do as much as he can to become a progressive monarchy and also to win over the hearts of the nation as well as internationally. But because of their actions, media outlets and those who are more engaged in the royal family drama, like us, have been diving more into the history of the royals, which, let me tell you, is not the most perfect and influential history in the world. Tainted by the countless controversies and scandals, the royal family has been catching a lot of heat about how they are not using their power for the greater good, but rather abusing it while also remaining secretive. What are your thoughts? Do you think the royal family is being smart about the power they have? Considering the scandals the king and other members have been a part of, is it acceptable for them to be the way they are portrayed in the media? And finally, number 1, Princess Diana's letter. Paul, one of Diana's former butlers, said that the princess predicted her own passing in a car crash. Apparently, she was so scared 10 months before she passed that she wrote to Paul saying that there was a plot made by a member of the family and that her car brakes would be tampered with and she would suffer serious head injuries, and all of this would be so that the Prince of Wales could marry again. Chilling. The letter she wrote read, "I am sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to keep strong and hold my head high. This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. My husband is planning an accident in my car, brake failure and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for him to marry Tiggy. Camilla is nothing but a decoy." So what did they do with this letter, you ask? Well, they keep it in a very safe place. Starting off with number 10, unconscious bias. Meghan Markle wrote to King Charles about unconscious bias in the royal family after her bombshell Oprah interview. The Duchess of Sussex's letter purportedly named the singular blame for hypothesizing about her unborn child Archie's skin tone, however, proceeded to guarantee the individual was not racist. Meghan said the remark over Archie's skin was not made with malevolence. However, according to a source who spoke with the Daily Telegraph, the Duchess will not be attending the May 6th coronation because she received an unfavorable response from the king. It is thought to have been sent in response to one from the king, who was the only high-ranking member of the family to get in touch with the Duchess after Oprah Winfrey interviewed Meghan and Harry in March 2021. Instead, Harry will be going to the May 6th celebration by himself, while Meghan looks after Prince Archie and Princess Elizabeth in Cali for Archie's 4th birthday. Even though the exchange was cordial, a royal insider said it had not eased the tension between the two sides. Relations kept on souring after the Sussexes gazed in a 6-section Netflix docuseries and the distribution of Harry's memoir, Spare. It is said that Charles, who was Prince of Wales at the time, is dissatisfied with the fact that Meghan and Harry felt the need to make such damaging allegations public. In the past, Prince Harry has spoken about unconscious bias, and in order to promote his memoir, he spoke with Tom Bradby. The moderator said, "In the Oprah interview, you blamed your relatives of bigotry." Harry answered by saying, "No, I didn't," adding, "The English press said that." Harry responded after Bradby stated that the Duchess claimed that troubling comments were made about Archie's skin color. Concern was expressed regarding his skin color. When asked if he thought that was racist, the Duke replied, "Not having been a member of that family, I wouldn't." On to number 9, protocols. Speaking of these stupid protocols, she breaks all the time apparently. According to the royal protocol, members of the royal family whose origin or status is lower are supposed to stay behind. Meghan has been ahead of Harry many times during public events, and also, even though this thing is not a big violation of the protocol, members of the family don't do that. Etiquette expert William Hanson pointed out that this is not a protocol breach and said, "Usually if you are a member of the royal family or a dignitary, you have a member of staff to open and close a car door for you," but her old habits show how shy Markle still is. Number 8, Shadyside. There have been a few things behind the scenes that may have made us raise our eyebrows. Whether much of these dished details pertaining to the Duchess are true, fabricated, or sensationalized, there's no denying that these shady stories certainly get people talking. In 2017, the Daily Mail pushed the limits of its Markle story quota by conducting some manner of a genealogical investigation into the alleged shared ancestry of Harry and his wife. They purportedly discovered that the two are cousins dating back to the 15th century. The connection is said to be on Markle's father's side, but is 15 generations back, so there's no need to worry about family dinners getting more awkward over the holidays. Not that it would have been the first time that someone in the royal family had married a suitor with the same genes, distant or otherwise, which has happened quite a bit within the royal family tree. Still, there's plenty of digging to be done in the present concerning the shady side of Meghan. On to number 7, Pics and Palace. Harry and Meghan seem to have broken royal protocol when they brought a photographer into Buckingham Palace without the Queen's permission while she was still alive. As most know, the Buckingham Palace is a big deal with strict rules that are to be followed. So naturally, seeing a picture of the couple holding hands while walking toward a door within the monarch's residence caused a stir. There is strictly no photography or filming allowed inside staterooms at the palace, and any filming or photography within the palace for commercial purposes requires permission, which was not given. Yikes, that's some drama. Harry and Meghan have reportedly also signed deals with Netflix worth over $100 million, which is causing lots of backlash. Number 6, criticism. There was a lot of criticism directed at the show Harry and Meghan when it premiered. Naturally, Palace insiders were seething with rage in response to the Netflix documentary series allegations. Trolls on the internet also attacked the trailer, calling the series hypocritical. Megyn Kelly discussed her perspective on the bullying allegations in an interview with Paul Murray of Sky News Australia, and talked about how the allegations came about because Meghan, in her own words, has been abandoned by her friends and family, and her wedding was filled with celebrities and no one who actually knew or loved her. Damn, Meghan hating on Meghan? Sight to see, guys. On to number 5, political. Protocol says no politics. Weird, considering your voices are heard the most. Does this actually mean we just want to be popular and look important, but avoid giving our input on major issues? Because that's what I hear. William is doing bits in making a difference even from his political views, but when Meghan does it, the media goes crazy. Sounds fair. On the royal couple's website, Archewell, a picture is posted with Meghan Markle showing off her voting sticker to urge Americans to vote on midterm election day, November 2022. The royal family members are supposed to be neutral in elections, so this may be kind of shady on Meghan's part, but to be fair, she wasn't technically born in the UK and really a member of the royal family since she's not really living there and is not a working member. But then again, people are gonna do anything to hate on Meghan. Am I right? Number 4, Anti-Royal Meg. Experts warn Prince Harry's newly formed and deeply damaging anti-royal beliefs are being peddled by Meghan Markle. Royal author Tom Bower made this claim while speaking to Meghan Kelly. He started by branding the American very clever and added, "Don't think for a moment that she's not convincing quite a lot of people that somehow she was thrown to the wolves." And according to him, it's completely untrue. During the course of this interview, Mr. Bower also questioned the they in Meghan Markle's claims about being fed to the wolves and asked, who is they? Who actually threw them to the wolves? And at that point in the chat, Miss Kelly chimed in and claimed that she thinks they've already telegraphed they is the royal family. In the first 3 episodes, Harry comes out and says there's the leaking of stories, meaning by the palace, and also the planning of stories. And he's absolutely getting ready to say that the palace, staffers, courtiers, whatever, were planning negative stories on him and her. That's what I think Meghan means clearly by they threw me to the wolves or they fed me to the wolves. If we look objectively at the couple since breaking away from the royal family, who has gotten the better end of the deal? Meghan Markle is living in LA, pitching Hollywood decision makers, voicing Disney Plus documentaries, and positioning herself as a woke cultural voice. Prince Harry has given his family the cold shoulder, severing ties with his family, and has reportedly been depressed and feeling down. The high point might have been when he was filmed reading Thomas the Tank Engine. It doesn't take a genius to figure out who's benefiting. The final straw was watching Harry throw his grandmother and all she's accomplished for the Commonwealth under the bus just to provide Meghan with yet another cause to pursue. As if that wasn't bad enough, he made a complete fool of himself by showing his lack of knowledge on the matter. Number 3, wedding drama. Meghan fought with Kate while planning her wedding. It sounds crazy, but things like that can snowball if you let them, and monarchical clans aren't exactly known for letting bygones be bygones. However, a new theory claims that Meghan's clash with the royals may have begun with something even more petty. Royal biographer Lady Colin Campbell has a new release entitled Meghan and Harry: The Real Story. In the book, Campbell claims that on Meghan's wedding day, everything was hunky-dory between the bride and her new in-laws. And a few days later, however, Meghan committed some sort of colossal faux pas at a party celebrating Prince Charles's humanitarian work. "I knew the tremendous amount of hope the royal family invested in Meghan being a success," Campbell told the Daily Star in a new interview promoting her book. "Hundreds of millions of people of color were rooting for Meghan. I was rooting for Meghan." According to Campbell, the party appeared to be going smoothly until Meghan somehow astonished a guest with impeccable palace connections. And what exactly did the Duchess say or do? Well, sadly, Lady Colin is keeping quiet for now. I can't repeat it exactly, it's in the book, but what I can say is something happened at the very first garden party at Buckingham Palace. The tea just keeps getting hotter. On to number 2, she likes her fans. So shady, guys. The royals commonly keep their distance when arriving and departing events, but Meghan often hugs fans, holds conversations, and even signs autograph books. However, she does not sign her name as it is a precaution to make sure nobody copies and forges royalties' names. And finally, number 1, baby shower. Baby showers are not standard in Britain, but Meghan planned one in the US before the birth of Archie. Some of the celebrities in attendance were Amal Clooney, Abigail Spencer, Gayle King, and possibly, but it's never been confirmed, Serena Williams and Priyanka Chopra. Number 10, allegations. With multiple allegations, including accusations of being racist, it's no surprise that a lot of people do not favor the royals and are not excited to watch the couple eventually become the king and queen of England. After being seen courtside at a Celtics versus Miami Heat game, fans were not appreciative and were booing the couple while chanting, USA. It's kind of funny to think that coming to America for the first time in 8 years would result in boos. But considering all the racist allegations, specifically one that came from one of their staff members, sports fans were not planning on welcoming the royals with open arms. The allegations came after Ngozi Fulani, an attendee from a domestic abuse charity, was met with repeated questions regarding where she was really from. After exposing the royal member of the ignorant questions, Fulani spoke about how she questioned how this could happen in a space that's supposed to protect women against all kinds of violence. Go Nosy, put these royals in their place. A Kensington Palace spokesperson made a statement mentioning their disappointment in Fulani's experience and that racism has no place in their society. According to Prince William, they are very much not a racist family. Considering they're still trying to recover from the departure of Meghan and Harry, all these accusations just don't seem to support his statement. But I guess we'll see if they decide to take a closer look at their actions and those working for the royals. Number 9, problematic relationships. The couple's relationship hasn't always been the most perfect. And as normal as that sounds, royalty surrounding the two has been in and out of the spotlight for years. Remember when Prince William was accused of cheating on Kate? Seems like cheating runs through the bloodline. When Kate confronted him, all he did was laugh and tell her there was nothing to worry about. That sounds like major gaslighting to me. Although the rumors were never confirmed, we can only hope they move on from this royal drama in a healthy way if they want to see the throne as king and queen together. It seems like there's a trend for members to walk out the royal palace when something is not up to their standards. We saw it when Princess Diana divorced King Charles, and more recently when Meghan and Harry bid their royal duties farewell. Are Kate and William next? I guess time will tell. And even though the couple has dealt with a lot of criticism over the years, you can literally never predict what will happen next in the royal household. On to number 8, indecisive prince. Next on the list, their rocky relationship started before their official engagement. After breaking up a couple times before getting back together and eventually getting married, it was revealed that Prince William ultimately broke up with Kate Middleton over the phone while she was at work. Even as a prince, he's not so charming. Having been with Kate throughout college, William was having doubts about the relationship, and allegedly Kate excused herself from work to hear William's reasons for wanting to break up, which were, "I can't, it just isn't going to work, it isn't fair to you." It sounds like a lot of excuses if you ask me. And that's not even the juiciest part. The couple, who also took a break in the spring of 2004, led to the once wild Will was seen dancing with other women during a vacay. He even hired an all-female crew for a yacht trip in Greece. Like, this isn't Mamma Mia, Will. Kate was also seen to be doing her own thing after becoming freshly single from the relationship. Between taking trips to Ireland and Ibiza, Kate was spotted with an heir to the British shipping fortune. The royal prince chose the least considerate ways to break up with Kate, who is now the future Queen of England. What a story. Eventually ending up together, all their history just seems like a fun tale to tell their kids now. Number 7, living too lavish. People believe Prince William and Kate Middleton should pay back the public money spent on travel during their out-of-touch Caribbean tour. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge spent 9 days touring Jamaica, Belize, and the Bahamas in March, but were hit by protests and a backlash over some of their photo ops. Buckingham Palace on June 29 revealed around $274,000 was spent on flights for the royals and their team, including a 2-week wreck by AIDS. You guys are really spending thousands like it's no big deal. The money came from the Sovereign Grant, their public funding given by the UK government each year based on profits from the Crown Estate. All this succeeded in doing was causing more angst against the royal family. They were totally out of touch, they were ill-prepared, and they did not bridge the gap. Guys, people have spoken, and it looks like people of Britain, y'all might be in some serious debt. That couple's tour was beset by problems before they even touched down, with a stop in Belize cancelled due to protests. There were then further protests in Kingston, Jamaica, and their presence appeared to ignite debates in all 3 countries about whether to remove the Queen as head of state. Ultimately, this is taxpayers' money being spent to promote the royals, and that's not what taxpayers' money should be spent on, just saying. On to number 6, Wordy Will. Prince William occasionally drank a little too much, particularly when he was younger. His habit of partying and drinking occasionally led to a lot of trouble for him. After a wild night of drinking in England, for instance, the photos of a sober William surfaced online. According to Female First, he was discovered seemingly touching the breast of an 18-year-old Brazilian woman named Ana Ferreira. The naughty picture caused a stir in the British media. You see, when William decided to go out for a night on the town in Bournemouth, he was deep into his military tank warfare training in Dorsey. According to Ferreira, he was having a good time partying in a nightclub. William, who was just 24 years old at the time, got Ferreira and her friend to pose for some pictures. In her words, "I was a little bit drunk, but I felt something brush my breast. I thought it couldn't be the future king, but now that I've seen the picture, I can see why he's smiling." Number 5, Diana's ring. Diana left her oval Ceylon sapphire ring, which weighs 12 carats. However, according to Mary Claire, the Spare author believed that the ring belonged to the future queen and presented it to Prince William when he learned that he wanted to propose to Kate Middleton. The prince revealed that the ring had been on its own journey when they announced their engagement in 2010. In his words, "I had been carrying it around with me in my rucksack for about 3 weeks before that, and I literally would not let it go. Everywhere I went, I was keeping hold of it. It's my mother's engagement ring. Obviously, she's not going to be around to share any of the fun and excitement of it all. This was my way of keeping her sort of close to it all." According to Marie Claire, many people thought that proposing with a ring from a failed marriage was not the best idea. They interpreted it as a negative sign, but the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's marriage is strong enough, even a decade later. At number 4, Furious Kate. Kate Middleton has always insisted on presenting the appropriate image. Vanity Fair claims that she even had to reprimand Prince William when he behaved like a child rather than the future monarch. Sadly, Guy Pelly always seemed to bring out the prince's playful side. Consider the trip to Greece with Pelly's all-female crew, and Kate wasn't always interested in that. In 2006, it appears that Will and the court jester were on vacation in Ibiza. They were showing off in front of a rented house, enjoying some testosterone-fueled guy time, having discovered the thrill of moped riding. However, Kate came out of the house and demanded that they stop because she was embarrassed. According to reports, she yelled at them. "Anyone could be watching. Stop acting this way," and exited the back. They did what they seemed to do, listening to Kate's school marm, and stopped showing off. William may not have liked it, but Middleton's judgment was almost certainly right. The author of Vanity Fair wrote, "Will's ego was probably hurt when he was called out in front of his friend, even though Kate's decision was in his best interest. However, despite the obstacle the relationship endured, and Pelly would later play a significant role in their lives. As per Hello, one of Prince Louis's godfathers is Pelly." On to number 3, partying over pregnant wife. Apparently, when the Duchess of Cambridge was expecting their first child, Prince George, Prince William wanted to let his hair down when he still had some. According to Daily Mail, Will had attended the wedding of his close friend Tom Van Straubenzee and Lady Melissa Percy while leaving a pregnant Kate at home. William's tooth loss would be associated with the royal wedding of the North. It appears that the young Duke and his friend Tom Inskip were tearing up the dance floor. William was struck in the face by Inskip as a result of a series of events. Due to their wild dance moves, he reportedly lost most of his front tooth, necessitating immediate medical attention. Will still had a sense of humor though. William was joking that if Kate went into labor that night, he would have to smile for the cameras with a missing tooth, a guest claimed. Kate may have given birth had she been aware of the accident. William made sure the tooth was repaired because he was worried Kate would go completely spiral. However, if he hadn't been able to get to the dentist in time, the photos of a sheepish William and a displeased Kate would have been hilarious. Number 2, Rose Hanbury scandal. The media's attention was drawn to Prince William's alleged affair with Rose Hanbury more than any other scandal he was involved in over the years. The first report that Will may have cheated on Kate with the Mark Highness of Cholmondeley was published in Touch via the Daily Beast. It appears that the affair took place in 2018 when the Duchess of Cambridge was expecting Louis and was only discovered in 2019. According to the publication, Kate allegedly confronted her husband, but he reportedly laughed off the claims. Seems like gaslighting your wife also runs in the family. And finally, number 1, Duchess. During the Rose Hanbury scandal, the tabloids picked up some interesting rumors. It would appear that Kate Middleton was unable to handle the news of the alleged affair. The only tabloid to report that Kate was devastated by the Prince William cheating scandal was the Globe via Mickey. They said that she wept and ran away from the attention to her parents' Berkshire home. However, as she lay crumbled on the bathroom floor after collapsing, her mother discovered her precious daughter. Mama called the doctor and her son-in-law because she knew best. After all, nothing could continue in this manner. Will, on the other hand, left the Middleton household after Kate allegedly tore into him when he got there. Starting off with number 10, the royal affair. Nothing is shadier than being the mistress tangled into a high profile, and not to mention royal marriage. And even though it was not the best kept secret, I mean, even Diana knew what was going on. Camilla and Charles still tried their hardest to deny rumors about their affair. Because of her involvement with a married man, Camilla was seen as a villain long before Princess Diana and Charles filed for divorce. Additionally, she was resented up until the Princess of Wales' untimely passing in 1997. However, Camilla's life truly changed in the days following the tragedy. The Duchess of Cornwall was not specifically held accountable for Princess Diana's misfortune. After Diana's Paris car accident, they did, however, discover a newfound hatred for her greatest foe, causing Camilla to hide for months after the situation escalated. On to number 9, the worst kept secret. Diana and Charles split up in 92 and got a divorce in 96 after a publicly disastrous marriage. His open affair with Camilla, which was the monarchy's worst kept secret, was one of their main disagreements. In the infamous Panorama interview, Diana explained to Martin Bashir, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a little crowded." While still married, Diana and Charles split up and started seeing other people. Diana had a number of relationships, including heart surgeon Hasnat Khan and later the man she was dating when she passed away, Dodi Al Fayed. In the meantime, Charles remained with Camilla. The affair of Prince Charles is known to the general public. However, he and Camilla made an effort to keep their relationship a secret by attending and leaving at separate times to the same events. Charles was hard at work making big plans for Camilla's 50th birthday party. On to number 8, confrontation. As many know, Diana eventually decided to confront her husband's mistress about their affair just to let her know that she knew what was going on. The recording claims that Diana recalls Charles hurriedly running around to inquire about her plans. Sounds like Diana had the future king sweating. Diana told Camilla boldly, "I'd just like you to know that I know exactly what is going on," despite the Princess of Wales' claim that she was terrified of Camilla. By claiming that she had no idea what Diana was talking about, Camilla attempted to refute the allegation. Diana recalled Camilla saying that she had all the men in the world and everything she could ever want, to which Diana replied, "I just want my husband," when she was asked what else she could want. That's almost poetic. You can have everything, but if you don't have something important to you, it really feels like you got nothing. Strangely, Diana even apologized to Camilla for getting in the way of her and Charles, but she was still furious. I mean, you can't blame her, right? On to number 7, friendly with the mistress. Diana got along well with Camilla before she realized that her fiancé was in love with another woman. After the royal wedding, she even anticipated that she would be a part of her social circle. Diana, on the other hand, realized before she and Charles got married that despite the fact that she was married at the time, he was close to a former flame. When she saw Camilla in the church on her wedding day, Princess Diana said she wondered if she was making a mistake. And not to mention, another shady moment is Camilla attending the wedding of Charles and Diana. I mean, this relationship was just doomed from the start. Number 6, not the Queen's choice. Alright, if the Queen herself does not like you, let's just say that is a bright red flag. Camilla had a history that rubbed the royal family the wrong way, but she still weaseled her way into the family, convincing a lot of people that she was only using Charles for his money. The extramarital affair rocked the crown to its foundation and put the final nail in the coffin of Princess Diana and Prince Charles' strained marriage. Queen Elizabeth was furious more than anyone else, so much that the Duchess was not even allowed to enter the palace for some time. The Queen finally agreed to meet with Camilla in the year 2000 because the late monarch had refused to meet her before then. Talk about a toxic relationship between the in-laws. On to number 5, unfit for the King of England. Prince Charles and Duchess Camilla first met in the early 1970s, and the prince fell in love right away after they were introduced by friends. Penny Juror, a royal biographer, wrote in the Duchess was not in any way overawed by him not fawning or sycophantic. According to Camilla, even though they shared a strong bond, Camilla accepted the proposal from her on and off boyfriend, Andrew, after the prince was sent off with the Royal Navy in 1973. Even if things had turned out well for the two of them, the palace did not think Camilla would make a good fit for the king. She didn't come from an aristocratic family, which was very important back then. Number 4, not accepted by the stepkids. Princes William and Harry have set strong boundaries regarding the relationship with their dad's wife. Prince William made it clear that the newly appointed queen consort will never fill the role of his late mother, Princess Diana. Apparently, the Prince of Wales does not want Camilla trying to get close with his children, George, Charlotte, and Louis. According to William, his kids have 2 grandfathers but only 1 grandmother. It makes sense that he would want to make sure that his late mother, Princess Diana, isn't erased from the picture now that Charles is remarried. William considered her bossy, mean-spirited, and thoughtless. Yikes again, Camilla. It's like she doesn't even care to be liked by anyone other than Charles. Will was so furious to find out newspapers published a photo of Camilla planting a kiss on his father's cheek in public. The young prince saw it as a slap in the face of his mother just 4 days before what would have been her 40th birthday. Now, do you think Will is being dramatic, or is he right to try to leave Camilla out of his own family picture? Let me know what you think in the comments. And on to number 3, Harry versus Camilla. Speaking of the princes, if you've ever wondered how Harry feels about his stepmom, apparently it's somewhat complicated. Harry doesn't have great respect for Camilla and has pretty much no interest in starting a close relationship with her. I mean, obviously we aren't surprised to know King Charles's sons are not at all happy with him ditching their mom for his mistress. And Harry and William were initially very happy to welcome Camilla into the royal family because she kept in the background and didn't interfere. But then something shifted. It was revealed that part of the reason Harry and his wife Meghan fled the UK was because of racist comments Camilla allegedly made about their then unborn son Archie. Here we go again with more racist allegations. Someone needs to find a way to educate this family, honestly. According to Harry, someone speculated about what his future child would look like. In one version, Camilla made a statement saying, "Wouldn't it be funny if your child had ginger afro hair?" Camilla, you're already hated on, and adding racists to the reasons people hate you is not a good look. Harry and Meghan allegedly left the UK in part because of Camilla, not people running away to avoid her. Insiders also claimed in June that Harry was still not a fan of Camilla because he had not forgotten his late mother, Princess Diana's comments about the Queen consort having an affair with his father. On to number 2, wearing the princess's jewelry. After finding out the famous mistress to Prince Charles wore a piece of jewelry once owned by Princess Diana, the public had new reasons to diss Camilla, and leaving us all confused on why she thought it was a good idea to make that bold decision. They may be married now, but that's still no excuse. Wearing jewelry owned by the ex-wife of your husband just feels so wrong and unhinged. People think Camilla reached a new level of disrespect by wearing what was once Princess Diana's. The emerald and diamond necklace was gifted to Princess Diana by the Queen and returned to the royal vault after Diana had tragically passed away, but recently, in 2016, Camilla was spotted wearing the piece. It was turned into a brooch, so the piece was more subtle. But it wasn't fooling anyone that Camilla was wearing what didn't belong to her. Here she goes again, taking stuff from Diana even beyond the grave. Of all the jewelry she could wear from the vaults, she decided on an extremely controversial piece. So do you think it was wrong for Camilla to wear the late princess's jewelry, or was this an attempt for the mistress to pay her respects to the late princess? And finally, number 1, the other woman. Camilla was once known as the other woman during her affair with King Charles, which later turned into a relationship and eventual marriage. Camilla has been hated on mostly because fans and supporters felt she came between Charles and the late Diana. So there's no shock Princess Diana was never a fan of Camilla. During Diana and Charles's honeymoon, Diana found love letters from Camilla to Charles on her honeymoon. Yikes. I know Charles was sleeping on the couch their whole trip after that revelation. Like, Charles, if you're gonna cheat, at least try to hide the evidence better. Finding out you're being cheated on during your honeymoon is definitely a different kind of pain. On their honeymoon, Prince Charles wore the cufflinks that Camilla had gifted him, which also upset Diana. It was also reported that a picture of Camilla slipped out of Charles's diary at that time. These were just 2 of several blatant warning signs that Charles was not in love with his wife. Anyway, what would we do without this juicy royal family drama? And also shout out Netflix's The Crown for giving us the gift of seeing a pretty good representation about this drama, or how it could have gone down anyway. But that is all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more juicy royal updates. And I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.